I work on cars and stuff, and there's a shortage, or sometimes backup orders and stuff like that, of inventory on parts, and guess what's going on? The moron that we have for a president last time, Trump, he started a fucking trade war with everybody and their sister. So now, all of a sudden, guess who? He picked a fight with the Chinese, who are the manufacturing center for the planet, and imposed tariffs and on everything, on billions of dollars of Chinese goods, and the Chinese did the same. He started a fucking trade war with Canada, for fuck's sake. I mean, it just started fights with everybody. They were shortage, and then timber went up because we buy timber from Canada, went up through the roof, and then guess what happens when you start trade wars? People that the country that you start a trade war with, they'll go sell to somebody else. They're not gonna all of a sudden wait for your orders. They're gonna say, "Screw you! You're screwing me. So I'm gonna sell it somewhere else." So, and as far as you go to dealerships, car dealerships right now, they're empty lots. Why? Because there's a shortage of the semiconductors. What are semiconductors? The chips, the little chips. Cars have technology out the yin yang. So they're not just a motor and a transmission and tires and stuff. They have computers for everything. So each one of those computers has semiconductors, has chips. So when this guy started trade war, Trump started trade war with China, guess where most of the semiconductors come from? China. And then even Japanese companies, they have thousands. I think it was, last time I checked, like 14,000 factories, Japanese factories in China. So and that got combined with the pandemic, because they have to close in order to save lives. And he reluctantly did that. He didn't want to do that. And then when there's all of a sudden they're not buying, they have stopped production. They stopped the orders of the chips for the cars. They're going to sell them to somewhere else. So a lot of them, they go to computers and other electronics, but you have to stop. So you combine that with, all of a sudden, they stop the orders, they go somewhere else, and then on top of that, you fucking start a trade war with China. And when the industry starts manufacturing cars again and other shit, they overheat. So there's a lot of orders come in all at once for cars and stuff like that, and whatever uses semiconductors or parts or whatever that gets manufactured in the country where you started a trade war with. You see what I'm saying? So now we're suffering shortages of a lot of stuff because we started. The United States, the previous president started with this trade wars and this nonsense with everybody and their sister. So now we, the consumer, the working guy, are suffering from shortages. And then when you all of a sudden open up the floodgates, and you have shortages, and you have a trade war, and now, mind you, when you order something electronic, it's not 2 or 3. You order millions of this parts. You don't just say, "Hey, send me 1,000,000." No. There's a lead time in production, meaning when you put the order, it could be 90 days before those chips come in. You see? So it ain't like it'll be here. It's not like Amazon drops a box at your house. No, these are millions of these little chips that come in, and the car manufacturers can't all of a sudden, they can't put the cars out on the road if they don't have the electronic systems. Everything is run by electronics. So that's why we're having the shortage. So it's a perfect storm, shit storm And there was, so it's not, so and the prices increase, people talking about, Biden, the inflation. Biden's starting a fucking inflation. It was Trump who started all this fucking nonsense. And well, like he usually does, he crashes everything into the ground because he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Everything is about him. If you don't, if you don't do what I say, I'll fuck you up. Well, guess what? You fucked us all up. So now we're experiencing shortages. We're experiencing inflation because as everybody all of a sudden is trying to get the same item, when there's scarce resources, the prices go up. It's basic capitalism. So, it was just horrible handling of the economy under the Trump administration, what has us here. So it's going to take a little time for the production lead time to decrease. So, that's what's going on.